Hello, and welcome to another First Five. There's this idea in sociology that I'm sure many of you are familiar with and know it from the term mob mentality. The idea of mob mentality is that people are inclined to follow the majority no matter what they think. People are inclined to follow what people are doing. You want to do what the most people are also doing. The basis of this idea is that it's much harder to go against the grain than with it. And so what happens is when an idea starts to pick up pace and a group starts to form around an idea, people go into that because they want to be part of the group. As people, we want to be part of the unit, and we forego truth. We don't care about what the truth is anymore. We just want to be included. And therefore, a quote unquote mob is formed around an idea regardless of what the idea is, because people are following it. In Luke chapter 23, we find a story just like this, where truth and majority are at odds. And we find a man by the name of Pilate. And Pilate is given the opportunity and the responsibility of deciding the fate of Jesus. And he's been given Jesus under certain accusations. And we pick up the story in Luke chapter 23, verses 13. When Pilate is faced with the decision of majority versus truth. It says, Pilate called together the chief priests, the rulers, and the people, and said to them, "You brought me this man as one who is inciting the people to rebellion. I have examined him in your presence and have found no basis for your charges against him. Neither has Herod, for he sent him back to us, as you can see. He has done nothing to deserve death. Therefore, I will punish him and then release him." With one voice they cried out, "Away with this man, release Barabbas to us." Barabbas had been thrown into prison for an insurrection in the city and for murder. Wanting to release Jesus, Pilate appealed to them again, but they kept shouting, "Crucify him, crucify him." For the third time he spoke to them, "Why? What crime has this man committed? I have found in him no grounds for the death penalty. Therefore, I will have him punished and then release him." But with loud shouts, they insistently demanded that he be crucified, and their shouts prevailed. So Pilate decided to grant their demand. He released the man who had been thrown into prison for insurrection and murder, the one they asked for, and surrendered Jesus to their will. What happens here is a really scary story that we need to be careful to not just call ancient history. What happens here is that Pilate understands the truth and is using reason and understanding to really know what is going on here. And he knows that Jesus is not guilty, but the mob, the majority, wants him dead. And the reason this is so important is because today we live in a day of social media where you can find your mob for anything. You can Google any side to any argument and you can find a vast group of people who agree with you on that topic. And so today we need to be very careful that instead of looking to other people and groups for truth, because you can find a group for any truth you want to hear, but instead that we're unified by the truth of Christ so that we don't make the mistake that most people made, where we look at Christ and say, this is a problem. Let's be like Pilate, where we're not afraid to go against the grain and see the truth and stand for it, even in face of the mob. So be careful today. Don't find your mob, but find your truth. And the truth is found in Jesus. Have a great day.